Hi everybody, it's Janét from Lectin Free Solutions. I'm back with one of my crazy ferment projects. I told you not too long ago that I started making water kefir, and I think I've figured out the process and it's pretty easy. I'm on my 15th batch, and so far we haven't had a failure. So I'm ready to show you my steps and show you just how easy it is. So we're going to get going here in a few minutes. All right, well, let me give you a rundown of what we have here, the ingredients. The most important thing for you to get are some water kefir grains. Now, I couldn't find anybody local when I wanted to start making these, but since then I found that on Facebook Marketplace, there are a lot of people selling fresh kefir grains that look like they're really robust and have been growing for quite a while. I ordered mine from Amazon, and they come from culturesforhealth.com. And they come in this funny little package, and there's enough to make one batch, a 32-ounce batch. But it does take, I told you I'm on my 15th batch, and my grains are just now really starting to get robust. So I think you just have to be patient with them and let them grow, because these come to you dehydrated. Another thing that I read in one of the kefir groups is that there are some stores that actually sell the fresh grains. Whole Foods that was recommended as a source. Now, I don't shop there, so I'm not sure if they have them or not, but you could call around to some of the specialty markets and see who does have fresh grains. So if you can get fresh, try that if you get those. And if you can't do that, go ahead and do what I did and get the dehydrated grains. They work fine, it just takes a little bit longer. All right, now what we start off with is just a simple quart jar with either spring water. I used RO water because we have that, and it doesn't have any minerals or anything, any chemicals in it. And to that, this is lukewarm. You can start, some of them recommend that you start with hot water, dissolve the sugar. I haven't had any trouble dissolving the sugar in just regular tepid water. So I have 1/4 cup of organic cane sugar. This is the one that comes from Costco. It seems so weird to have sugar in my house after all these years. We don't really use sugar, but this project requires it. You can't do this with anything else but sugar. Some people do use juice. Some people use coconut water as their base, but I've heard a lot of pros and cons about that, so I've just stuck with this. Now what we're going to do is stir that sugar up. What we did was buy a refractometer, and this will show you exactly how much sugar you have left after the first ferment. This sugar and water mixture is going to sit on the counter with a little hat on it like this. It's a coffee filter and a rubber band for 48 hours. And I'll show you what we're going to do now. This is the one that's been sitting for 48 hours. We're just going to take the lid off, and actually in this one you can see there are a few grains that are these grains are really starting to grow. So there's a few that are floating to the top. All right, so these are the grains that have been fermenting for 2 days. Okay, now we're going to take the water that has been fermenting with the kefir grains for 2 days. You can tell when it's ready because it really stops bubbling. The temperature of your house has a lot to do with it. So it can be as long as 4 days. You can sort of tell by tasting it. If it's sickeningly sweet still, then maybe you need to give it another day. But this is just how it should be. So now we're going to put the funnel into a 32-ounce container, and then we're going to put the sieve, and we're going to pour all of this in here and try not to catch any of the grains until the very end. I just as soon get fewer in there, as few as possible. Well, I guess we're going to have to do it. Okay, so that is going to be what they call F2, or the second ferment. So now, before we add the goodies to that fermented sugar water, we're going to take the kefir grains I want to get a quick picture of these so that you can have an idea of what they look like. All right, now to the water, the sugar water that I just made up, I'm going to take these kefir grains, water grains that just came out of the last ferment, and we're going to go ahead and put these in here. And you want to try and get every little one of them because there's tiny, tiny pieces in here that are growing into grains, and you want all of them. And as these start, now mine aren't to the point to divide yet, but once they get up about a half a cup, for this volume of water, you'll need to divide them in half because a quarter of a cup for 32 ounces is the exact amount that you need. So what we're going to do is just cover this back up, put a little rubber band on it, and then that'll sit on the counter for another 48 hours until it's going to start eating all that sugar. It's going to be very happy because it was already finished. Now, that fermented water we've put into this container. As you go, you know what, I had to decide whether this was a project that I wanted to continue with. So as you go, what you can do is buy some of these nice snap top bottles in the larger size, in the 32-ounce size. And a lot of people make this water kefir in half gallon and gallon sizes. There's only 2 of us. It lasts about 10 days, so that's quite a bit for us to drink. So we probably will continue with this volume. If we're going to have kids over or company, then I'll probably double it up. And what you do with this kefir, once say you want to take a week or a couple weeks or a month off, you don't want this continual process. All you do is make a sugar water batch and put the fresh grains in there and put it in the refrigerator, and it'll last and last and last. And then when you're ready to start again, you just pour that water off, you make a new sugar water batch, and then it'll start all over again. So it's really, really simple. And you get so many great probiotics. With the sugar refractometer, we discovered that it ends up being about a 4% sugar concentrate after what they call the F2 or the second ferment. So what we do so that we don't consume too much sugar is we either only drink 4 to 5 ounces or we cut it with San Pellegrino sparkling water, and that's really delicious. And there's, your imagination is what determines what flavor. It's just like making soda. I had some the other day for the kids, and they were like, "Oh my gosh, this is the best soda, Auntie." They were really happy, and so low sugar. I was thrilled to make it for them. Now, this one that I have here, this actually only fermented for a day and a half, and it's very, very carbonated. It had 3 whole strawberries that I ran through the food processor and about a piece of ginger, maybe twice this size. So it went fast. So you really don't know. You just have to keep, every day you just kind of come by and you release the lid, just let a little bit of the gas out and check it in the morning, because if it's too much, it really will go. You have to do it slowly, slowly, otherwise you'll have a stream of soda like champagne. Anyway, the one I'm going to make for you today, this one is strawberry and ginger, and it's ready to drink. And the one we're going to make today is lime juice, which I already have all juiced and ready to go. We're going to pour that in here, right into the sugar water. And then, I forgot to cut up the ginger small enough so it'll fit through there. We'll do that real quick. It won't take but a second. It's your choice whether to peel the ginger or not. I peeled this one about halfway. Doesn't really matter because it's going to get strained out later anyway. I'm just going to cut them into long, skinny pieces. I think they come out pretty easy that way. But do it however you like. If you want it in smaller chunks, just do that. When you have fruit that you add, and you don't have anything hard like ginger, you really don't have to strain it at all before you drink it. This one we will have to strain. There they go. All you need to make this second ferment is a bottle with a really tight-fitting lid. You have to make sure that it can't leak any air at all. So that's that one. We'll give it a shake up. And then in 2 days, we'll have a ginger lime soda. Pretty tasty. All right, so I'm going to grab a little bit of ice and I'm going to strain this strawberry. I'm going to show you how carbonated it is, and I'm hoping it doesn't blow up all over my kitchen. We'll see. Hang tight while I get the ice. All right, wish me luck. I'm hoping that we don't blow the kitchen up, but here we go. You can probably hear if you listen carefully. Yep. There it goes. It's starting to go. I have to do it. You can see it's rising up. Look, can you see all the fermentation? That's just from a day and a half. I'm pretty impressed with this one. I have to let it go a little bit at a time, so it doesn't go all over the place. I was listening to a gal the other day that she had an older glass container and that thing blew, and she said it was like being in a war zone with glass shards. Or shards, I should say. So you want to make sure that you're using something that is strong enough to hold that fermentation, because as you can see, it can get pretty strong. This is the strongest one I've had. So that proves my case in point that every batch you make, the kefir is getting a little stronger, a little stronger, a little stronger. Because the first two batches I had were fermented, but the ferment didn't last very long in the jar, and once you put ice in it, it got flat really fast, and that's not going to be the case with this. Well, we might have to take a break here so you don't have to watch this whole process until I get enough air release that I can let the cap go. Well, it's been about 5 or 6 minutes, and I've just let it go slowly, and I think we're ready that we're far enough along that I can let it go. It's going to go a little bit, but I'm just going to quick strain it into this other container so that we can get the ginger bits out of it. I'm only going to pour enough so that Tom and I can have a little glass of it. You can see it's still plenty carbonated. So that had strawberry. I made juice out of 3 large strawberries, and like I said, it was about a 2-inch nub of ginger. So now we're just going to pour this into the glasses over ice. And these are small juice glasses, so I think they're probably about 6 ounces. So we'll just do about 5 and give it a taste.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Oh, that's really nice. Tasty. It's so refreshing.
Very nice.
It's really better than any soda that you can buy. You know, Tom wanted me to mention to you why it was I decided I was going to try the water kefir. I really had never thought about it before, but we had always bought this Kefir lemon cayenne probiotic drink. And recently we found out that it was bought by Pepsi-Cola, and they're no longer going to package it the way they are. It's no longer going to be in glass bottles. It's going to be in a can. We don't drink anything out of cans. So that sort of eliminated that. And then I did a lot of investigating, because this, for one bottle, there are only 3 carbohydrates. So basically 3 grams of sugar. And I really was having a hard time figuring out exactly how they did that. Well, after further research and talking to someone who had been involved in that industry, what they do with this is they make it just like we're making it, then they cut it with water, and then they add a little bit more probiotic at the end so that they can keep those sugar grams really low. So our sugar grams are more, for this amount, you're going to have about 5 grams of sugar. If you want to go to 4, you can probably get it to 4 grams, but you're not going to have the same amount. But you are going to have all the probiotics, and you can cut it with San Pellegrino, and it's a delicious drink. In the description with the directions, what I'll do is I'll give you a list of all the probiotics that are found in water kefir, because they're completely different than what you find in dairy kefir. my family cannot have dairy, so this is a good option for us. So with this and coconut yogurt, we manage. But anyway, I wanted to share it with you. I think it's fun. If you have kids, I just can't think of a more fun project. It's like having a science project in your kitchen. And they love the way it tastes, and it's a healthy option for them besides soda. All right, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe. And as always, thank you so much for all your continued support.